Hey there. Welcome to another installment of Huddle Up with the Fun Coach. I'm Mark Duncan. So glad to be here and talking to you. And today I want to talk about your board. Okay, we'll just dive right in. Your board and the importance of your board as it relates to relationship fundraising. Very, very critical. And so let me just start by sort of going over what your board's main responsibilities are, generally speaking. And they fall into three categories. One is to safeguard the mission. Okay. Two is fiduciary oversight. Now, what does that mean? That's not just financial, that's legal, that's procedural, that's uh, financial. It's everything that relates to making sure that you are, as the nonprofit leader, following the rule of law as it relates to a nonprofit organization and the things it's able to do and the things it shouldn't be doing. So that's the fiduciary oversight where the board has a say and sets standards and policies and so forth, and use the nonprofit leader follow those and implement those. And third is fundraising. So your board should be helping in some way in terms of finding or helping you, pointing you in the right direction and connecting you with ways that you can generate philanthropic revenue for your organization. So now, when we talk about your board, we're from a fundraising perspective, that was really sort of a general sort of responsibility that every board member of every nonprofit organization has. Okay. Safeguard the mission, fiduciary oversight, helping with fundraising. The, the criteria that I'm about to tell you is criteria that should be using when you are selecting board members and thinking about it from a fundraising perspective only. Now, I know that when you are recruiting board members or the board members that you already have, you already probably looked at what they bring to the table in terms of skill set. So if you have somebody with a legal background, you probably wanted them on your board. You have someone who has a background in communications and marketing. You may want that person on your board. Depending on the kind of organization that you are, maybe health and safety, someone with expertise in areas that relate to the work that you do. And that's great. But in addition to that, you should be thinking about what I call the 4 C's. So every board member that you recruit and that is on your board should care deeply about your mission. Goes without saying. Second, they themselves should have capacity to give to your organization. And what I mean by that is they should be giving at whatever you deem is a major gift level for your organization. So if a major gift for your organization is $1,000 and up, then your board members, every one of them, should be giving $1,000 or more to your organization. If it's 2,500 or more, they should be giving that to your organization. If it's 500 or more, whatever that number is, every board member should be giving at least what you deem is a major gift. Now, what's more important than that, if that isn't feasible for everybody, because I understand some boards are made up of groups that represent constituencies, and sometimes it's difficult to add this layer that I'm telling you about in terms of criteria to that person that you want to be on the board, because that board may be a member of the community that is a critical voice but may not be someone with the capacity, and that's okay. What's most important is that every board member is giving. Okay, you have 100% participation from your board. So if you do have a board where you are supposed to have a certain representation of a constituency group that may not necessarily have capacity, if that donor's giving, or if that board member is giving you $1, then they can be part of the 100% participation. But ideally, you should be looking at board members who have capacity. So the third C is your board members should be connected to other people with capacity. Okay. So, and that typically goes without saying. Most people who have capacity know other people in their circles who have capacity, whether it's a colleague, whether it's a neighbor, someone who goes to their church. In some cases, they already know, in most cases, rather, they already know people who have capacity. And so being connected to those people who have capacity is number three. Now, I used to stop at the three C's, but I realized that I needed to go a little bit deeper because I just assumed that when we stopped at the third C, everybody knew what I meant. So I added a fourth C, and that is that they should be comfortable connecting you with the people they know that have capacity. So they need to make those introductions, right? And they can do that in a number of ways. You can do that via email and have it there be a what I call a warm handoff, or you can do what I call a tag team coffee, where the board member and the board member and the person that they know and you as the nonprofit leader get together for coffee, and you have that opportunity to meet with them, and then you take the relationship from there as the nonprofit leader. So after the meeting's over, you're the one who stays in touch with them and follows up. And the third way is something I call a home gathering. And a home gathering is really, really wonderful. So your board members can host something, whether it's in their home or some other location, where they can invite people that they know that have capacity. So now you have a group of people, and then you have an opportunity to meet with them and then follow up, right? And so those are really sort of critical things that your board should be doing all the time, in addition to making sure that they safeguard the mission, fiduciary oversight, and of course, what we're talking about now, and that is fundraising. So, um, if you are listening to me right now and you're saying to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I already have a board. I can't like reboot or make these changes." I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm suggesting is that as your board evolves and turns over. So as you are recruiting new board members to fill seats of folks that roll off, think about those four C's. Okay. This is not something that happens overnight. This will take time. Now, if you're watching this and you're a startup nonprofit, then I would encourage you to make sure that you are using those four C's, because the sooner you get into that habit of establishing a culture of philanthropy in your organization through your board, the better off you're going to be. So, um, I hope this was helpful to you. This is really, really critical stuff, because your board is a key component to fundraising. And if you're not using them and they're not engaged, then there's some changes you need to make so that they can be that effective board that you need them to be, so that they can help you generate those dollars that you need to generate. Because at the end of the day, this fundraising thing, it's not about us. It's not about the dollars. It's about what the dollars do for the people that we serve. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.